Let's see here. Am I live? I am. Whew. All right, we're live. I pushed this one up. Let me just pull someone up here and make sure my screen is monitoring what I am doing, which it should be. Yep, I don't think it's late. I think we're cool here. We'll give a couple minutes. I know this is a Monday, a crazy time, but this is going to be on YouTube anyways. But we'll get started here in a minute. So just chill for a little bit here. All right. Good thing I'm talking over this because I would get YouTube. You know how they be. They just cut you out now. All right. So as you can see, this is a tier list. Again, this is going to be on YouTube first and foremost. As a full video. I know I pushed this one up a little bit sooner because we have other ones I really want to get to. And I really just want to kind of go over this because I finished it not too long ago and I don't want to forget about everything went through, right? But to give you some consistency of like what's going on, I did finish up Persona 3 Reload. The DLC for it is coming out, I believe, in September, which is the answer extra point, right? The extra DLC to it. So this character right here is not a part of it right now. The original one, I won't be ranking her. I'm sorry, but other than that, I am gonna rank all these characters. I want to say this as well. I have finished out all of their confidants. You know, everything, right? I even did the part where you got to get flowers to this girl right here, right, on a good day to kind of keep her alive. So like, I did it all, and I got some opinions about the game. Now, this is going to be my personal opinions, of course, of what do I think of these different characters, you know, how do I feel about them all, so on and so forth, right? So, again, besides that, it's just my personal opinion. Let me get that out of the way there. It's my personal opinion of how I feel about these characters. And let me know what you think down in the comments down below. I got plenty to talk about them, and we'll do this more often. Again, let me know if you want to see different types of games or anything like that. This is the first game we've done, I think. I mean, we talked about fighting games that have anime in them, but like this is the first one we've done this really doesn't have an anime. Does Persona 3 have an anime? I know 5 does. I don't remember if 3 does, but anyways, it's not based off the anime, right? So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to kind of pick them off how I want to talk about them, each one by one. Some I like others more than others, but most of them I don't remember their names, so don't get upset with me about here. I'm kind of going to start off with someone that kind of sucks. All right. This is the dude that was in another school that you get later on through the game that is able to basically run quick on track or whatever, and he's a crazy sports player, and they're like, hey, go ahead and, you know, come on over here and join us and be swaggy. You can be friends with him, and I don't know if he was the son or the star confidant off the top of my head. But regardless, you can be friends with him. You kind of see he's struggling with money with his family. He's having to take care of his siblings as well because of the money, and it's kind of affecting him. The reason I put him down here is I'm also kind of talking about, I'm not really talking about their effects that you get when you finish their confidants either. I'm really specifically talking about the character themselves. But I want to say with this character here, I don't love the dude. I mean, you kind of get a really weird friendship from him because you guys are both in track, and then he's like constantly spilling, yeah, man, my family, man, it sucks. I'm constantly having to deal with all this other stuff with my life right now, and, you know, I can't focus on track or anything like that because of it. And I get it. I really do. But, again, it just kind of sucks to constantly hear him whining about it. You know what I mean? So, to me personally, I'm going to say I don't love him. He's not a terrible character, but, I mean, C's common, C's average. Sorry, I'm trying to put this sound better for y'all. So, I'm going to say, let's see. I'm gonna hit Grandma and Grandpa here. I think this is a solid character. And I may order at the end. Grandma and Grandpa are pretty cool because you find out you get at the very beginning, like they're like one of the first confidants you should really go for, and they tell you, hey, so our son died from a car crash, and the tree that is inside, I believe the school, that's kind of a symbol of like our son. Basically, it's a pretty simple story of like them kind of realize like, hey, we lost our son, and you were kind of a reminiscent of our son. You acted just like him. You know, of course, never see him, of course, but I do feel kind of bad for them because they kind of do. You see them as a couple, him and his wife, kind of have their own struggles and go back and forth with everything and realize like, hey, we can't bring him back, but we can still love him. So even when they're trying to like break down the tree and everything like that, they're like, man, like, you know, he's got to live throughout our hearts. You know, if we can't honestly just have him be a tree. So I will say Grandma and Grandpa, they're solid characters too. I wouldn't say they're S. I don't care about. I think they're the Hero Fight or whatever it's called, Hero Fight, whatever it is, Confidant, but they're fine. I like these characters. I do. It's sweet to watch them do what they do. Picking up another bad one here. Who do we have? I don't know if I want to talk about what's it called, Strega or whatever yet. You suck. Matter of fact, Yuko might be the first D tier to me. I think it really sucks. Now, let me say this. I do feel bad in the sense through a lot of her social links and confidants, you see that she is just straight up being bullied, which is crazy, right? But it's really hard to kind of watch her kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm being bullied. This actually sucks, but it is what it is. I don't care. And you kind of see in her kind of helping with the little kids, them running around and training. She's like, yeah, it's a training and thing like that. I'm training the kids. It's great and everything, but I'm really purposely trying to let them have fun, be a good person, not be bullied. It's sad. It's sad, but you never really care about Yuko. I'd be amazed if anyone actually purposely picks Yuko as if anyone actually ever picks Yuko as like a love interest, right? So it's nothing against her. Is she Chariot? No, she's not Chariot. I think this dude right here is Chariot. But Yuko's fine. I think she may be Strength. I don't remember. I should be guessing each one. I don't remember off the top of my head. But regardless, I don't think it's a great character. She's not the worst of the worst. We got more on here, but she's not a great character either. Picking up a good character I do like. I'm gonna keep the main ones for the end. Some of these are hard. They're gonna be a lot of mid characters. All right, let's take one. You see. So this is the guy also too that kind of talks about. I mean, he does the same thing that the guy right next to him does. You see him later. He shows up at night. There's not too many night confidants, but he shows up basically saying, "Hey, so you remind me of my son. I broke up the relationship with my family, so now I come in here to this bar and just smoke cigars and drink and just get wasted." It is so dumb. Matter of fact, I might say he is a D tier character, and he's underneath Yuko. It sucks because why would I ever care about this character over someone else, right? You don't care about him. He shows up late. He's at night. He's talking to kids saying, man, look at me talking to some high school kid at night. You know what I mean? Man, what's wrong with me? He's like, I used to have hair just like you. Like, bro, shut up. Shut up, bro. So I feel like he just constantly is whining and you don't care about anything he says. And really, you could miss him too because he's a night confidant that shows up, I believe, later on as well. So it's not like you're getting much from him or his conversation. He's a bad character. I wanted to pick up a good character. You know what? Pick him up. So a lot of people may put him in perfect, if not A. I'm going to put him in B right now. Again, I'm going to say this now because if you don't know, this is a tier list, meaning that you've seen everything. This is a spoiler video. He dies. Okay? And if he dies throughout the series, it's hard for you to actually, kind of feel like he's been completed. Now, he was a part of the original team with him, Akko, what's his name? Akahito? I don't remember his name is right here. And these two, Masura, whatever. don't test me on names. They're the original team, but you don't see that except like a picture, right? And he kind of jumps out of school, drops out of school, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not doing school anymore. I don't care about it. I'm not using my persona." And he starts taking drugs because I guess he went overboard. So then most of the time when he's shown up, you're trying to recruit him back. And plus, have you ever noticed that him and Akihito have the same exact looking like persona? It's kind of weird. I won't lie. But anyways, he dies, sacrificing himself for Ken later on. And that was it. I mean, they kind of moved on pretty quick, which kind of sucked. Because, I mean, I get they had the, oh, yeah, he wasn't coming to school or whatever, but he'd passed away ceremony, which is respectable. But it didn't seem like a big deal past it affecting Akihito, right? So, I don't know. And he did have a good sense of justice, I would say. He was just also very lazy. He's a B tier character to me. I think that's all he is. I wouldn't put him in A. Plus, you don't have a lot of time to use him. He doesn't really get a lot of good abilities anyways. Well, I'm not really talking about their usability, because only some of these characters you can really use, but hey, I wouldn't put him much up here. Their usability, I mean, if we're talking about usability, you know, Akihito and Yukari are going to be much higher, so. But anyways, let's talk about Bebe. He's another bad character. I'm going to put him above... He's another common character to say. I'm putting him above my runner boy here. When it comes to Bebe, the problem with Bebe is the fact that he is a character that, hey, I came over here and I love sewing. Sewing is so swaggy. And then you find out later on that his family passed away. I think it was his grandmother, I remember right. And he's like, I'm struggling to find friends. I just kind of stand out. I get it. You're trying to fit in with the rest of the school. Just like literally, you know, Yuko, right? I understand, but that's all this character really is. Now, he does have a passion as well as Yuko, but you kind of get more camaraderie from him, and him like, hey, let's go hang out, let's do this, da 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 da, and you know, you overall kind of like, hey man, I don't feel as if you have an unfair shot. You know what I mean? It's just like well, no, he does have an unfair shot. Yeah, that's what it is. He has an unfair shot. And you like the character. He's fine. I do think he is very similar to Yuko, but they could have also had him out of here too. I think he's coming. And really, maybe I could push Yuko up a little bit above this. Maybe I'll redo it later on, but I don't know. These two are very similar. Let's take you. Yeah, this Strega. Poop. He's literally just the henchman, you know, Luigi saying, oh my goodness, rah, rah, rah. You know what I mean? It's so hard that we had, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating, but we had the experiments done on us. It really sucks, and now we're trying to get revenge to keep the dark hour so we can keep our persona. What? Why? You're not even attacking the people that did the stuff to you, that did the experiments to you. You get this information from Strega from back-end information. You have to piece it together. You're never shown directly, so you really never care about him. By the time you go fight him, he's already dead anyways. It's like, what's the point? It's like, I don't really think that... Is his name Taka? I really don't care about this character. I think he sucks. When you fight him later on, he has a persona, which is fine. But again, it's one. He's a one guy fighting and throwing bombs. It's not that hard. I think this is a character they honestly could have scrapped. He doesn't even affect the rest of the cast. He doesn't care about him. You could have scrapped him. You really could have scrapped him. You right here, running boy. Now this is when I'm going to put him B. I think he is. I remember right, he's Chariot. He is the one that's saying, "Hey, I have this leg issue." It's basically, if it's a disease, I can't remember, but he has an issue with his leg where he's not going to be able to meet his dream running. And he had his whole bet with his little sister that he's going to one day, you know, be crazy good and everything. However, because of his leg issue, he cannot do it. That sucks. that sucks a big time. You know what I mean? So it's a thing that you feel bad for him. The character design is actually the most porous and boring thing I've ever seen. But besides that, it's like you see him in the beginning of the classroom. He's sitting on the side like, hey, please talk to me. So you're like, okay, he's all right. I'll go talk to him if I have nothing else to do. He's usually there majority of the days. That's fine. He's a fine character, but you don't fall in love with him. Here, RC Boy, see, I'm gonna put you right in front of Runner. The RC Boy, where he's talking about, I want to do art instead of becoming a doctor. I feel like it's hard because you see him throughout his story. A lot of the times he's really focusing on, hey, I have to do, um, yeah, he's like saying, hey, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to do art. But you honestly feel as if he's forcing himself to do art, especially because most of the time he's like, hey, somebody has a headache. Here I come to the rescue, right? And he's like struggling, like, what do I do in college? Do I be a doctor? I mean, just go be a doctor, dude. Go be a doctor. It's like you feel for him because it's relatable, but you get annoyed by him. You really do get annoyed by him, which really sucks. And I feel like if I had to talk about these confidants that don't fight, a lot of them really are going to hit this common area. Another one, this dude. Okay, so let's do this. Yuko's above you. This dude sucks. Takes your money, never gives it back. And then he says, like, you want to invest in something? Well, let me complain about my life and how much I hate you and how I'm doing good things for you. This dude sucks. This is Takana. I don't remember the names, but this dude sucks. Okay? He's the only nighttime thing that you can get for basically the beginning of the whole story, until you start getting other nighttime shifts like the monk dude back here. He sucks. He doesn't have any kind of camaraderie with you. And plus, he's on the TV trying to sell stuff as a scam anyways. He says, look at my scam. Oh my gosh. I almost wanted to skip his confidant. It sucked so bad. And then it's like, he never get... I don't know. If he gave you your money back, maybe I would have cared a little bit more. It's like, hey, he's doing something, but they don't do that. Next. Let's see. Do I want to... Now, we're throwing in Akihito. Good character. Great character. I'm going to put him here. So, kind of getting the premise of everything going on with what's going on with him. He's kind of pairs up with shared Persona fan over here. I think the issue... Let me not start the issue. The good thing about Akihito is, first off, as a fighter, he does a lot of fist damage, the strike damage, which is really nice, I think. And plus, on top of that, he also does electricity. You know, Mazio, everything like that. They can do shock, which I think a lot of enemies are actually weak to in this game, compared to other things as well, such as like ice or fire or wind. He does a good amount of damage. He can buff your defense, if I remember right, too, or to attack one or the other. You're going to use him quite a bit compared to the others. Akihito's story itself is also pretty good. Even though he doesn't tell you directly, he's always kind of being that guy that he's tough, he boxes and everything, he'll put you down, but he doesn't want to be in trouble, right? He doesn't actually want to look for trouble, and a lot of times trouble finds him. You also kind of get the whole thing about him and his family and everything going on with that, and I think it was... He lost a lot of people, kind of fits in the same boat as him too. But you just have more time with Akihito, you kind of see him grow. He's also a person that's like, hey, I don't need... I mean, a lot of girls seem to be like, hey, you do fit the bill being attractive, but you don't have no personality. And he realizes that, and you can go look at tapes and see, like, dang, like, he actually does realize he kind of doesn't have a personality, right? So I would say overall, I do like Akihito. He is an A-tier character, I would personally say. But, would I put him above the other two here, Gramps and Grandpa, just because they don't fight? I don't think I would. I like Akihito. He's an A-tier character, but I that's all I got for him. Bam. All right, so this is spoiler, so I'm just gonna use her. This is her personality. I don't care about the teacher herself. Okay, so Maya. Maya's interesting because she's single, right? Is your teacher that's single? From my understanding, unless she's doing something crazy on the internet, she finds love with your main character. She finds someone she likes with your main character, and she's the whole time saying like, hey, I really want to, play this game, kind of feel like I'm kind of chilling and enjoying life and whatnot. And it's not like she's truthfully likes you per se. It's more of you give her attention on this online game, and she kind of gets stuck with it because she gets the attention she doesn't have in real life, right? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of sad in a way. I do like Maya. I might put her top of C. I'll put her bottom of B. I do like Maya host thing. You can do it as well in your bed. Well, you can do her confidant in the bedroom, but again, I just, it's a lot of times it's open, it's easy to get done. The Hermit it's cool. It's cool. I like the character. I think you wish you had more, and when you find out that who she is later on at the end, you're like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like that's her. It's crazy. So I like the character. She's fine. She's a B tier character. You suck. I don't need nothing about you. You're a prick. You're a prick. Probably the worst character I've seen. If there is an F tier character, you're down here. You're a prick. You don't like nobody. You blame everyone for everything else. You're stuck up, and you're supposed to sympathize with him. He sucks. He sucks. I don't like him. The Emperor, I don't like him. I just, great character, very impactful to the story because you see she was built. Now, I don't know if she's like an Android 18 or Android 16. I don't know if she was a person beforehand, but you see her try her best to understand how people feel and their personalities and everything like that. And I really like this character because eventually when she was supposed to kill you in the main cast, she goes, oh, I can't do it. I like y'all too much, right? So maybe she is supposed to be an Android 16, right? If you get what I'm trying to say, Dragon Ball. I like the character a lot. I do. And I know that she's going to become the main character in the DLC pack. So maybe we'll do one then. I doubt that this will change her from being an A-tier character. Again, she has a lot of buffs and debuffs and everything like that in her kit. She also does her special ability, which she can do a lot of those attacks without any type of like health like loss, basically, which is really, really nice. You're not gonna do her second tri-energy compared to her first one really much, but I do like this character a lot. I think she's great, physical and strike, and I think she has shot as well. No, I'm sorry. I don't think she has slash. She has strike and shot, but really good character. I think this is a great character. Since I'm talking about you, you suck. Okay, I never played Persona 3 before this, the original one. I knew about FES and Portable, but I never played them. It was so obvious that this guy was going to be the main villain of from the start, right? It was just too obvious. He had no reason. He was doing all these stupid, phony pun jokes, right? You had no reason to care about him whatsoever. The only reason I'm giving him any praise is because he brought you Aegis and he was with you a lot of times, acting like he was supposed to be some type of character. I would still probably put him above Yuko as well, but he sucked. Plus, you don't even get to fight him. Make it satisfying for me to actually, get back on what he did, right? Of him changing the tape to actually seem like we supposed to be all these different bosses, right? That have the the whatever they call them in this game, the Hermit and Chariot and all that love, all that stuff. He was not the best. It was too obvious to me, but he's not the main villain compared to Straker, right? And even also the where is he at? This dude right here. So he's not the main villain, but he could have been much better. I'll start you. You kind of suck as well. I'm not a big fan of the villains in this one. You walk around shirtless with a gun saying, I don't need an invoker to actually make my persona come out cool, dude. You're just shooting people. You killed him. I think you technically killed Junpei before he was technically revived as well. Just shooting people. Your persona sucked. You talked like all that big stuff. And honestly, I wish I could have wiped you before. You seemed as if you went through the same thing as the others did, like Taka and her as well. However, you never understood that maybe it's not right for me to actually be bad. Maybe I don't need my persona. Maybe I should go for the people that actually put me in this situation. Stupid hippie. Stupid. You. I feel bad for you. I do. Though you're dying thing. But you go, he comes in later on, I think after you finish her, or get a certain ways with her actual confidant. And all he does is whine about his disease. Okay, that's it. I can't personally enjoy that. I just don't. I don't. Until he disappears, I just don't. It's not fun to read him sitting on the bench talking about nothing, saying, do you understand what it's like to be nothing? Bro, no. I'm sorry. I'm really close to putting him in D, but I'm going to put you here because at least I feel bad for you. I want to do Yukari at the end. My boy here. I'm going to put you right here in B. it's fun to watch, even though it was useless. But he's also one of the first confidants you can do, where he's saying, "Man, dude, this teacher, bro, she bad." You know what I mean? And he never leaves your side. He just kind of shows. He's like, "Hey, man, like even though I'm technically underage and she's overage, and you should probably like report us tomorrow, she bad." All right. And he thinks that he found someone until she finds out that she's actually talking to someone else, and she was like, "Oh, hey, I actually don't like him. It's a kid, so I'm playing along with him." I'm like, bro, if I was you, this dude right here, if I'm you, I'm gonna report her saying, "Bro, she was sending me pickies." I get her in trouble. I'd be so petty. So I think it's funny to watch him go through this, and this is one of the most enjoyable confidants to watch because it is funny, but you kind of get what he's saying and you feel for him. But it is enjoyable. Now I tell you this, you could find anyone else probably looking how you look. I mean, bro, this is your competition right here. All right, so you could find someone else and you be solid, okay? That's your age. But whoever you were talking about, and I hope it wasn't Maya over here, whoever you're talking about, but whoever you were talking about, hey, man, you could have found something else and been solid, okay? But he's a fun confidant. I put him in B. You, terrible father. I don't get it. Why do you not even have your own persona awakened? What are you doing? I'll put you above here. But what are you doing? Why are you here? You're rude to your own daughter. You just let her go and do what she wants to do. You don't care about her feelings. You don't care about that she can possibly die. Then you're like, oh, come over here and, come have this vacation for a week or whatever, which is a waste of 3 or 4 days. You walk around the beach, listen to conversations. It sucks. You suck. And then you show up at the end like, hey, y'all did it. Haha, here's some sushi. And then when it's still bad, you disappear again. You never see him at the end of the game. This dude sucks. This is the worst father I've ever seen. Get out of here. Boy that likes to eat. You're enjoyable. I'm going to put you in B. Because you kind of find out, too, that he also is really similar to, was it Sumi? The new character in Persona 5 Royal. But the whole, she had a sister and she started kind of like replacing her. Like, hey, I think that I'm my sister. It's a very similar thing where he had a brother that was cooler, swaggier, and he was just kind of jealous. And he kind of got that persona of once his brother's dead, I'm going to take over that. But when you came in, he's like, damn, you kind of like my brother. You're not a member now, right? And you also kind of think, too, I think if I remember correctly, this is the only time in the game, which you could do in the previous ones, that you can get a negative or a reverse type of social link where you break it. They do it on purpose, of course, but it is actually cool to see that happen, which I wish they did that for other characters, right? But of course they don't. They don't want to give you more, so he's enjoyable. I actually would say I enjoy him more than Running Boy here. Yeah, he's enjoyable to watch. All right, you. I don't like putting, was it Miko? A. I don't. I'm gonna put her at B for now. This is an interesting. A lot of these relatable, okay? A lot of them are very relatable, but it's very interesting to watch because her mom and dad are having a divorce. This is a thing that happens a lot of times, right? You're not going to see a lot of characters go through things such as like bullying, right? Or you see like your brother died and now you're eating your life away, which is, it can happen, but it's not, your homie's talking to a older girl, you know what I mean? This one, divorce, it happens a lot. And you might probably even know someone that has went through divorce. I think this thing is interesting because you see what she's going through. She's struggling through it, and she even says something like, I think she says at some point like her dad's called her name or touched her. Like, not like, inappropriate, like hit her. And it's like, that's still inappropriate. But like, you feel for this character a lot, right? Until, I think at the end, her dad shows up, and he's like, I'm going to take custody. I'm like, what? I hope it was her mom that touched her. Touched her like that, and not her dad. Because I'm like, that don't make no damn sense. But anyways, it is very sad to see Michael go through this, especially because you go eat with her, you just be playing on the swing set. It changes scenery as well compared to like, who has one? Maya's does not change scenery. Bebe's, it changes scenery. It changes. Most of these do change scenery. I would probably say yours never does. That's why you suck. Yours doesn't change either. That's why you suck. But it is enjoyable to watch. I would say this is a confidant that's actually enjoyable, and you kind of want to finish it too. She doesn't show up a lot. I think only like 2 days, like a Wednesday and Saturday, something like that. So you're like, hey, I want to get this done. So enjoyable character. I'm not gonna rank you because you are Maya. These two are basically the same. Let's rank them. Death. You're there from the beginning to sign a contract. He does not recognize when he was. He kind of does when he was actually in this form until he kind of gets older, whatever he was. He gets the form. He shows up out of nowhere. He's like, "I'm so handsome. I'm so swaggy. Oh my gosh!" And then he becomes the guy that's like, "Hey, the world's about to end tomorrow, by the way, and you're gonna have to beat me. That's it." You're okay. You're okay. Maybe not seeing this character show a lot of emotion that he was saying, inevitably speaking, you will have to defeat me, and that's it. I ain't gonna try. I don't even know why he was forced to do this. Right? He was saying, if you kill me now, then the big baddie at the end won't come across, right? And they're like, well, who's the big baddie? Well, it's technically me that I fused with another big baddie, so that's kind of all it is. But he was still aware when he did fuse with the big baddie that you fight at the very end. What? This character had no emotion to me. I don't get it, and that's why I wish when he was in a smaller form, y'all elaborated more with him, but you didn't. So he's C tier. C tier. All right, my boy Akamaru, I'm gonna put you in A. Enjoyed it. I enjoy this character. Take him on walks. You can get a lot of items from him. He has dark and fire abilities. Fire is okay. Dark, very good ability. He has instant kill abilities as well. He's a slasher. You also have it so with him, he usually will go first. Plus, on top of that, with his whole thing about he once had an owner and he would go stay at the shrine and help people all the time, even running away other dogs from kids. He's like, hey, even the dog that he ran away to get out of here, he said, hey, I'm gonna come back to you, homie, and try to get you a place to stay because you clearly don't have a collar on you. He's cool. This is cool. I think he's he's a fun character to watch. Even if he doesn't talk, you can kind of sense of what he does with his little howl and all that stuff like that. Really enjoy this character. Yeah, I put him in A. All right, y'all, we're rolling down. You're B. I'm gonna put you here. Confidence issues, shy, scared of people. Your family doesn't have a lot of money, but you like doing things like such as collecting manga and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. However, you're shy, so you kind of have an issue standing up for yourself. So when you go through her confidant, she's saying things like people thought she stole the money, and she just couldn't say, hey, I did not steal the money. But she didn't really want to fight the people, so it's like, can you really go through that by just saying, like, hey, I did not steal the money, don't blame that on me. I gave it to it. And they really very quickly settled the dispute when they went up to another dude, one of the teachers, said, oh yeah, I forgot, I had the money. It's like, okay, this was the easiest win I've ever seen, right? Most people probably picked her or Yukari or Mitsuru for the love interest, right? She's okay. She's okay. I forget her name. Fukiwara? I don't know. She's okay. That's Chika. What am I talking about? Anyways. You have some little fun things like her running up the steps and throwing money inside the stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Inside the pond. She's okay. She's about right here. Persona 3 is fun. It was. I know y'all gonna say like, "Hey, this is the best Persona 3 or best Persona game." I wouldn't say that, but I do think it's fun. I think this is one of my favorite, quote unquote, whatever you want to call them, host or whatever, of the Velvet Room. Yeah, and I know there's a male version of them too. I also noticed, depending on the character, I think that they have a different gender. So like if it's a male, it'd be a female. If it's a female, it's a male. But they don't have the male in here. But she's fun. You can choose to do her stuff with the cat ears and the googly eyes and everything. It's fun to do. She gives you quests and everything to do and get done. You feel like you have to go over there and talk to her. And fun character. Now I'm just debating how I want to do these in order. We'll do y'all together. Let's do Fuka. Good character. I like her. She's never really mean, never wrong. She's just kind of to herself a lot of times. She gets stuck from the start from bullying, and she becomes friends with her bully, which is actually crazy. Could not be me, but you do what you gotta do, boo boo. I think that her being the radar, she has pretty good stuff that, while she doesn't do a good job being a radar compared to Futaba, this is not an anime shine. I'm just kind of pressing out. This is Persona 3 Reload. I'll do another anime here shortly, man. And I'll go live, but this is not an anime right here. Just over Persona 3 Reload game. Appreciate no, you good, man. Appreciate you. So yeah, so I'm gonna say Fuka. Excuse me, Futaba. Fuka. She might as well be Futaba. She does what Futaba does worse. She can, heal you up your like tri energy and everything like that, and she can give you, she can give you things such as full heals or HP heals and your special heals, FP, MP, whatever it's called. She's fine. You kind of talk to her, and her whole confidant is like, "Can I cook?" And you're like, "No, but I'll eat your food." But it's like she doesn't have anything really deep besides that. But she's a fun character. I mean, I like what she does for the game itself. She's A. She's A. Ken, you're B. You're B. Ken, I feel terrible for you with your mom being killed. You find out later on this is the actual killer, and then he sacrificed himself to kind of, regrets and like appeal for like what happened with your mom, and man, terrible. But you could have done this so much better. He's not the best character either. He has slash and he also has light, and he can also do some healing. It's fine, but you're not going to run him first up. You're not. Okay. Light is not that useful. You're needed in a very, very rare niche, and plus he's not very strong anyways. I think he has a low health bar too, so he kind of, it's fine when you get him. You get him later on, but I don't care about Ken. You don't really care about Ken, so he's fine. I think his story is understandable, but of the house, you're not talking to him first. Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Who do I want to do next? Who do I want to do next? I think I'm going to go with Mitsuru. A tier character. I know people want to put her at perfect. I know. I don't think she's perfect. I have a hard time putting her above Akihito and others because a lot of times she's very standoffish. She's supposed to be that, like, what is it, like the tsundere type or whatever, where she's like, oh, I do what I want to do, right? Follow me, I'm the leader. Get good grades. She has ice, and I believe she has minus defense abilities, I believe it is, which is fine, but you're not going to use minus defense that much, and ice is okay, but she also has an almighty attack, which is useful, and then she uses slash. I think overall as well, when you look at her, you're like, I don't mind the character, she's fine. Most people are going to pick her as like a love interest, but when you do her confidant, you don't really feel bad for her. She's still kind of going through the thing of like losing friends and, this dude right here. And like, hey, I've been having to go through all this stuff by myself for a long time. Akihito's right here, your buddy. I don't know. She's fine. I think she follows the same boat as Akihito, but these two aren't perfect. I don't see it. These two are not perfect characters to me personally, so I don't know, man. That's how I see it. That's how I see it personally. 3 are out. All right, these two. You're B. You're an A. I really wish they did more Junpei. Junpei, they had multiple times showing that he struggled, realizing that he is not the leader, and they never finished that storyline. So many times of him not being the leader, not being in charge, them not caring about him being gone at one point. They never finished that. Why? Junpei is a better Ryuji from Persona 5 to me, and y'all never finished his story. Instead, you added in her, who is supposed to be the love interest that also deals with the whole Strega stuff, which she is the best one of them all. And you can choose to save her, or if you let her die, which is another, plot line, and she, he can get the whole Thynergy or whatever it is, Thynergy, whatever it is, special abilities. And he can heal. It's a nice attack. It's a fire attack. He's a physical. He does a lot of damage. You're going to use him. But you feel bad for her. She tried to kill herself, but she still relates back to his story. She needs him to continue on because these two losers don't care about her. They're just like, hey, you got the same sympathy that I do, and he was willing to kill her. Her own persona tried to kill her. She relates to him. You feel bad for her, but she relates to Junpei. Junpei, honestly, I think is a better character than... Junpei's high to me. Junpei's high. Junpei's real high. I really do like this character. They just didn't finish Junpei. That is a fumble to me. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. But Junpei, y'all fumbled that. Y'all fumbled that so bad. Right here, Yukari, another A tier. I'm gonna put her underneath Akihito though. Yukari to me is a character that she deals with her dad being gone, just like every other character on this thing. After what happened to him basically dying because of this dude right here messing up the tapes and everything and experiments and whatnot. And she struggles because now her mom's trying to remarry and everything, and it sucks. I get it. She is a very good character. Character-wise, I think she's perfect. Wind, heals, stats, great character. But you don't feel bad for her all the time. I think she has a good story, but you don't feel that like she's like much above the rest, right? And I don't think her character development ever really changes because her mom's still dating, and she's still struggling with that, right? And then even when she realizes, hey, Dad, I understand that you actually didn't do this, da 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 da. I feel bad. She gets her new persona awakening. That's great, and that's it, right? And all she does is call, Junpei a stupid detective or whatever, right? Stupe or whatever it is. So I like Yukari. I think she's A tier. Most of the team in your team except Ken, I think, are A tier up here. But now your main character, I'm not gonna be the guy to say, oh, he's S tier. He's a B tier character, man. You don't talk, you don't do anything. You just show up out of nowhere. You see in coffins, and now you have this amazing ability to see persona. The reason I'm putting him up here is because it's you. You help everyone out with their problems. And then you sacrifice yourself at the end to save the world. If you had any dialogue, I would put you in A, but you don't. You just don't. But you can get some good persona. I'm talking about like Beelzebub. I'm talking about like the Satan, all that other stuff. These three. Again, she's not out yet, so I won't rank her. Maybe I'll come back again later on if the DLC has more storyline to it. But other than that, I don't care about y'all. Yuko, you're lower. You're lower. Yeah. Man. I'll tell you this. Persona 5, and I'll maybe do this again depending on how this video does. Persona 5's characters, I think, are just overall better. I did like Persona 3. I did. Yeah. I did like Persona 3, but Persona 5 to me is a better game. No, Junpei's better. I love you, dog. Yeah, that's the character. All right, that's the list. I think this was a quick one, quick 40-minute or whatever. I know y'all got other things going on and everything, so it's going to be on YouTube as a full video. But thank y'all for watching. To those that joined in, I greatly appreciate it. We got a Pokemon one coming up here pretty soon, and then I'll do an anime one after that. Get some more videos, shorts, etc. coming out for y'all as well. So, again, if you have seen Persona, what if you've played it, let me know what you think of these characters in the comments down below. And again, I got some more tier lists, more branching out to do. So, thank y'all for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care. Love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.